Hey everyone, welcome. Saturday afternoon, 12:15 live stream. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. We are in a nice warm-up period here this week. Today it's going to be in the mid-60s. Tomorrow is going to be in the low 70s. And then as we progress through the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to be in the high 60s, low 70s. So I think we are turning the corner, finally, from the winter season that we had. I see there's, 10 people here already. So thank you so much for being here. Got a couple of things lined up today. Nothing major. I'm not sure how long of a stream this is going to be, but I want to give you an update. We'll get to saying hello to you guys in a second, and gals, if there are any out there. I want to give you an update on the UPS decision that I made, and also I do have a poll running regarding the UPS. So, if you were in the market now to replace a UPS in your current rack, at home now, we're talking, would you stay with the traditional 1U or 2U UPS systems, or would you go with something like we discussed last week in the stream, the EcoFlow portable power station? So that's the running poll that we got going. We'll check on that in a little bit. I learned something cool this week about Proxmox I want to share with you. You probably already know it, some of you, but I thought it was a pretty cool feature. We're going to definitely be doing the giveaway for the GWN 7703 24-port unmanaged switch for the 30,000 subscriber giveaway. And then we'll go over our weekly poll. And then I have one or two articles that I came across this week that I'll share with you. We don't have to go into them in detail, but at least we will touch on them briefly, and then I could just share the link in the live chat. So let's see what's going on here. I'm trying a little something different today with the audio. So I'm hoping it sounds okay. So you guys let me know that in the chat, please. I don't know if you hear a difference, but I'm definitely trying something a little different this week. So looking for your opinion. So let's go over to, let me bring my laptop a little closer so I can see, and let's go over to the live chat. So we have Grish here. Good morning, Grish. Welcome. We have Alonzo here. Alonzo's currently at a car dealership. His wife needs a new car, so he will try to listen. Well, thank you so much, Alonzo, and good luck with the new car purchase. You'll have to let us know if you're still here during the stream what you guys end up doing. Jeremy, welcome. And I do want to mention today, Jeremy is going live at 3 p.m. today after this stream. So I wanted to just share that link in the chat with you all. Something new that he's trying. I know he hasn't gone live at 3 p.m. in the afternoon on a Saturday. We chatted a little bit during the week, and he was a little concerned that maybe he would be cutting me short, but I assured him by 3 o'clock I will be done. In fact, even my longest streams, I don't think I've gone beyond 2:45. So, and that was probably last week, which was the longest stream of them all. So in any event, Jeremy's going live today. It could be right after this, or it could be at, this could end quicker, and then at 3 o'clock, Jeremy's going live. So be sure to check it out if you're available. Yes, Joe, welcome. Yeah, we had the music last week. Tried a little something different. Everybody seemed to like it last week. We did a poll, and folks said to keep it rather than going back to the original. So I think I said something last week along the lines of someone called it mysterious, and I said yes, and it is perfect fit because you never know what I'm going to cover, right? So perfect. Welcome, TVJ. Thank you for being here. Alonzo says it's raining now in South Carolina. Yeah, we had our share of rain the last 2 days. It's actually clearing, although they are calling for some today, but it seems to be clearing. So, and tomorrow it's going to be perfect, sunny and 71 degrees. Hello, Mr. Tim Tech. Thank you for joining us. Great video, Matter Over Thread. I saw that. In fact, I'm going to put a link to that in the chat too, because that was a great video. Just getting into Home Assistant, obviously, the last couple of months, and just wrapping my head around Zigbee. And now Tim goes ahead and does a video on Matter Over Thread. So I am definitely going to post this link in the chat. Just stop it. There we go. Let me copy the link because it was an excellent video. So let's do that now. Like I wrote in my comment, Tim, you make your videos very, very simple to follow, especially for newbies like moi. So welcome. Audio is a little thin. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying something a little bit different today. I'm not wearing the wireless mic. I'm actually using the RE320, but instead of being on the boom stand here, it's above me right out of the shot. In fact, you could see it here if I bring it down into the shot. I have it set up kind of in an overhead rig situation, and it's about, I would probably say 8 to 10 inches away, which is a little further than when it's here. Here it's usually 4 to 6 inches away, but I thought I would give it a shot and see, you know, what it's all about. And so yeah, that's the difference that you're hearing. So I mean, if it's horrible, we can go back to putting it on the side stand, you know, for now, or I can go get the wireless mic. I would imagine it still sounds better than wearing the wireless mic, but I don't know. So that's interesting. But good catch, Joe. There's the link to Jeremy's 3 p.m. stream. TVJ says, Haley and I are listening as we work on the basement. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Hi, Haley. Don't work too hard. Make sure Jay does all the heavy lifting. He hasn't gone live in a while. I guess you're referring to Jeremy. Yeah, with a public stream. He's been doing a lot of the morning member streams. I know that's before your rise time. But he's going public live today at 3. Alonzo says you purchased a Lexus TX350. Ooh. Let's take a look at that and see what that looks like. TX350. Oh. Let's see. Let me just... Is it the SUV? Is it this one here? Meet the TX line. Well, it looks like they're all very, very nice, Alonzo. What color did you guys get? Turbo inline 4, front or all-wheel drive, 275 horsepower, 23, averages 23 miles per gallon, seats 6 or 7. So there's the performance hybrid, there's the plug-in hybrid, and then there's the F Sport. Did you guys go with the electric? Are they all electric? I don't even know. I know nothing about them. But in any event, congratulations. And wish your wife luck with it. Good luck with it. Growing up in an Italian household, I always remember the tradition. Anytime anybody got a new car, the family came out and threw money in the passenger seat floor area. I don't know if that's just an Italian tradition or if other nationalities do that. But I remember that was very, very cool because people would say, here's for your first tank, or here's for whatever. And sometimes you'd walk away with quite a few bucks. So there is the Matter Over Thread video from Mr. Tim Tech's channel. So if you're into Home Assistant and using Matter Over Thread stuff, or want to get started with it, check it out. One thing I didn't know was that depending on the controller, coordinator, whatever you want to call it, some of them have multiple radios, like in the one in the video Tim was using, and you could set one radio to do Zigbee and the other radio to do Matter, and I didn't realize that that was a possibility to run both on a single piece of gear, so that's pretty cool. Tim says, I thought the audio was a little different. Like Joe mentions, the audio is a little thin, but not too bad. No, actually, this has nothing to do with the Seattle Seahawks. In fact, I was going to mention my cup today. I'm not using my designated streaming cup, but I'm using my Seahawks cup because this is our local Division I men's college basketball team here in Wilmington. They are currently in first place with a record of 25-4. They've had a fantastic season. I'm going to the last home game of the season tomorrow night with my brother-in-law. We're playing our top rival, Charleston, College of Charleston, for the battle for first place. Right now they share first place, and I guess whoever wins tomorrow night is going to secure first place. And then we move on to the conference championships next week in D.C. I wish I can go, but I can't. They'll probably, because of their record and in the standings, they'll probably get a bye on the first two games and just play the last two games. So, but that usually is carried on CBS Sports Network. And then if they win their conference, they make it into the big dance, which they're a mid-major conference. So even if they made it into the NCAA tournament, into March Madness, chances are they're going to get eliminated in the first round. But still, a lot of fun to have a local team that you can go and not pay through the nose for tickets. I mean, it's $20 to go to a game. So, and the refreshments and stuff like that are very, very reasonable. So to have that locally, like literally 20 minutes away, can't complain whatsoever. So the shirt is for the local team, not the Seattle Seahawks, although they share the same name, and the cup as well. We're celebrating the UNCW Seahawks. Okay. But no, Keith did not put me up to that. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Hope everyone that watches it enjoys my Matter Over Thread video. Absolutely. Joe says, about the same as the wireless mic. Not terrible. Yep. You know, I have this rigged. I have the mic rigged right now with the original Rode PS1 stand. And I think if it was closer to me, it would be probably better. I'm trying to come up with a way, but I wanted to just test this for today. I'm trying to come up with a way to get it suspended off of the overhead desk rig that I have, but I haven't figured out the combination of super clamps and mounts that I would need. That would bring it, if I can get it attached to the overhead stand, that would probably bring it another 3 to 4 inches closer to me, and it probably wouldn't sound any different than when it's coming up from the bottom here with the other with this mic stand here. So, but I wanted to test it out to see if it's worth investing in those extra clips to make it happen. So yep, I'm sure it helped. Alonzo says yes. Bought the gas premium silver. Nice. Well, again, congratulations with that, Alonzo. I bet she is. Happy wife, you know the saying, happy life. TVJ says he's never heard of matter over thread before. I don't know a lot about it. I really don't. I do know, if I'm not mistaken, that, and you're not an Apple user, so it's irrelevant, but I do know that Apple Home devices that are compatible with Apple Home are also compatible with Matter. So I could use a Matter device in Apple Home. But anyway, it's a great video. If you're into that kind of thing, I would watch it because it just opens up just another world of smart devices that you could add to Home Assistant. The only question I had for you, Tim, and we could talk offline during the week, is you mentioned in the setup of the controller coordinator, for lack of a better word, you mentioned something to the effect of having to enable USB and plug plug the USB cable directly into the device that's running Home Assistant. And if you're running it in a virtual machine, I guess if I were able to figure out how to enable USB pass through, that would work. Or is it just, I wasn't understanding the whole purpose of the USB tethered connection, but like I said, we could chat offline about it. Oh, you're very welcome, Tim. Your studio is quiet enough to use a shotgun microphone. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to spend the money right now on another microphone, especially when I have a great mic. Yeah. So, all right. So, hold on. I was trying to get it off and I was going to put it back in the other mic, but I'm hassling with it, so let's do that. So you can see it a little bit. There. Okay, anyway. True. Dynamic mics are really good for close proximity. Technically, you are off mic right now. Okay. All right, I think we caught up with all of the comments for now. Let's take a look at the poll. We have 11 people here, 10 votes. In 2026, if you need to replace your rack UPS, what would you choose? 60% of the 6 people said they would go with traditional rack mount UPS, and 40% said they would go with an EcoFlow power station. I just used the Delta because that's what I referenced the Delta because that's what we were looking at last week. So hold on, because now this is bothering me with the audio. So let me correct this. Hold on one second. Let's do this and this. Okay, we're back to normal now. And I think the audio is on. Check. Yep. Okay, so this is normal. I haven't changed anything. And we are about 4 inches away. So is that, I'm assuming that's better? Okay, we have 12 votes now, and we have 16 people here. So I'm going to let that poll run for a while. Let's go back real quick to the comments. Tim says, yeah, you should be able to pass through USB. It seems that it needs stable connection, so USB is recommended. But with Ethernet 2, it's easier to get to the web UI. Yep. We should be back to normal, TVJ. Actually, when I had the mic overhead, I had the level cranked up more than normal, but now it's at its normal setting. I can give you a little bit more. Sennheiser MK600 would be perfect from above. Let's see. By the way, TVJ, it wasn't that I didn't want to participate in that chat with the with that board you were showing. It's just it was over my head. So, but I liked following the conversation. Let's see. And let's get this off the screen. Let's see. On Amazon with $349. The Sennheiser MK600 shotgun microphone bundled with universal shock mount, 20-foot XLR cable, cleaning cloth, $339. I mean, it's not horrible. You know, it's just, I look at these things and I know it's just me. Because I don't know anything about them other than I know Sennheiser's a really good brand, but I just look at them in general at their design and I go, how could that be good sounding? But then, because I have in my head, this image of the RE320 or the Shure SM7B or, the SM58, these nice, big, solid microphones. And I look at this and I go, how could it possibly be? But I'm sure it is. So, interesting. Yeah, if I could hang this easily from above. Definitely something to consider. Now, I'm assuming this is a condenser microphone, phantom powered. Okay. Yep. AA battery or phantom powered. Okay. Well, it all boils down to, do I need it? I'm okay with this, and especially with the sound quality. I've just been liking streaming lately with the wireless mic so that this wasn't in the picture. But I've noticed in the last couple of videos, I like it better than having that big shock mount on the Rode PSA 1 stand hanging in front of me, like here. But I like this a lot better. But I'm finding that I'm bumping it with my hand in videos and I hear that thump and it drives me crazy. I could raise it a little bit, but then that's putting it up more into the composition of the shot. So it's all about this up here with me. It has nothing to do with, do I have to improve my production in any sense for what I'm doing? No, the answer is no. So, but anyway, But I will keep that in mind. Okay. Chris says he hears fine. TVJ Joe says at TVJ his mic was further away from his head. He is fixing it now. That's better. Is your compressor off? No. Nope, nothing's changed. Maybe it just seems quiet. It seems a bit quiet. I don't know. Check. 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 It's interesting. Check. Is that better? Check 1, 2. Testing. Check. Anyway, I'm going to go with this for now. But no, nothing's changed as far as the compressor. In fact, I haven't touched those knobs in quite a while. Interesting. Okay, where are we in the chat here? Chris says sounds good and loud here. It's funny. Maybe the iPhone is normalizing it because that's a thing. That signal chat finally wasn't about Proxmox and something I could jump in on. I thought it was a fascinating project. It's just like I said, I don't have a use case for it. I don't, it was over my head in what the box was actually doing, something about muting and non-muting microphones. I don't know. And now that we're talking about it in this chat, maybe TVJ, when you go live on Wednesday, maybe something you can show. I don't know. But it was cool. Joe says that mic is a lot cheaper on BH. Interesting. Always trying to get me to spend money there, Joseph. I own 2 of those mics. They sound great. Cool. Send me one down to test. I'll pay the shipping down and back. And if I like it, I'll buy one. Hit that thumbs up button, please. It's good for Tony's YouTube algorithm. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. Yes, the problem is definitely somewhere between my 2 ears. Here's the problem with the volume up. So I have the volume on the solid state mixer between 8 and 9, somewhere in between the middle there, maybe 8.5, I don't know. And I feel like once I get to that point and beyond, you hear every breath, like and things like that. So I hate that. TVJ says that sounds better, but then again, I have noise going on in the background. Jeremy says sounds great to me, but I'm listening with the surround system on the big TV. Nice. All right, so let me tell you about my little story with the UPS. So I did order something. In fact, I did a little bit more research last week after the live stream, and I had made the decision to go with the APC traditional, the traditional UPS. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just I don't know if it's a generational thing or what, but I just felt more comfortable going with the actual unit, the traditional rack unit. So I went ahead and I ordered this one here. The one I was talking about last week in the stream, the APC 1500 volt amp smart UPS with smart connect, yada yada yada, the 2U unit. I went ahead, I placed the order, and about an hour later I got an email from Amazon saying that my credit card was declined. And I thought to myself, no, that can't be, because it's a business credit card. It has quite the limit on it as far as what I could spend, and I only had like $100 charged to it at the time. So there's got to be a mistake. So then, of course, I went on to Amazon and checked and made sure that I made the purchase with the business credit card, and I did. So I called Amazon. Believe it or not, I was able to get an Amazon phone number. And I called Amazon, and the person I spoke to had said that, I need to call my bank, that the bank declined the charge. I thought, okay, well, maybe they thought it was a fraud thing. I don't know. So I called the bank. The bank says to me, we go through the whole thing, my account number, all this, the order number, the unit, the price. And they say, we have nothing here on record of that coming through. We didn't decline anything, but we didn't pass anything, and we're not holding anything. There's no charge, as you described, coming to this card. So at that point, I got a little weird about it, and I thought to myself, I'm just going to, and Amazon kept telling me, if you put the payment through, we haven't canceled the order. If you put the payment through, we'll go ahead and process it. So I got a little weird about that, especially when the bank told me that there was no charge, anything on record. So I canceled it completely. And instead of repurchasing the same thing, I ended up going with this. The Delta 3 Classic Power Station. It hasn't arrived. It's due here on Wednesday. It's $425. So I did end up saving about $450, $650. I actually saved about $225. By getting this. And I thought to myself, I got weirded out about that Amazon transaction, and I thought to myself, maybe it's just like an omen or a sign telling me don't buy. That's how my brain works, right? Don't buy it's meant to be that you don't get the traditional rack mount unit and you go for the power station. So I did a little bit more digging into the power station, watched a couple more videos on it, and made the decision to bite the bullet and go with the Delta 3 Classic. So there you go. Although, and I guess the other part of it too is the portability aspect of it wasn't an issue. I know a couple of you guys were saying to me, and the beauty of it is you could take it with you, and if you ever need it in a situation to go supply portable power to charge a phone or a tablet or something. But I have the EcoFlow River 2. I could easily do that. So I'm thinking about the situation in the reality here. I have the whole house generator. So that kicks over in 30 seconds to 45 seconds, maybe 60 seconds tops. So when we lose power, the UPS battery only has to perform for maybe less than a minute. So in reality, even with the Delta power station in place, all right, so that switches over in 10 milliseconds keeps everything running. Then the generator will take over a few seconds later, and the rack will never get interrupted. So I figured it was okay. I could live with that. So that was my decision after all this back and forth last week. I ended up not going with the traditional rack mount UPS. So interesting. So, and the poll is changing now from 14 votes to 57% traditional and 43% with the power station. One of the things too is something that DJ Ware said last week in the chat as well, that he actually has that same Delta 3 Classic unit, and it's tried and proven, like, that it works, and he's happy with it. And not that I don't trust everybody else, but I mean, I don't know how many other people have a power station of that size using it for that particular use case. So when I heard DJ Ware say, no, I've been doing it and using it for my rack, and in the back of my head, after the APC traditional UPS transaction went south, I was like, all right. So that kind of like pushed the teeter-totter a little, but I'm sure I'll be fine either way. I would have been fine either way. Okay, enough babbling. Okay, I'm sorry, TVJ. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I just didn't want you to think I was ignoring the conversation. It's just, like Joe said with the Proxmox, he doesn't jump in on it. Like with this, I really couldn't even speak to it other than going, oh, wow, cool. So, oh my gosh. Expensive. Even I don't think I didn't look. But super expensive, even at my price. So oh my God. Yep. You started it anyway. Does that mic need a battery? The oh my God. Sennheiser. Jesus. From what I saw when I was looking at Amazon, it either phantom power, or I think it said a AA battery. Let's go back and look one more time. Sennheiser. MKE 600. Joe probably knows the answer to this because he owns them, but let's see. Low battery indicator power. Yeah, phantom power or alternative of battery power with a low battery indicator. It does have an on-off switch on it to prevent the battery from discharging prematurely. So, okay. Oh my God. The card issue I have, that exact same issue with Ticketmaster. Interesting. And if you don't have phantom power, you can use AA. Yep. Not an issue here with the SSL. So, all right. That's funny. I better stick to my my notes here, otherwise Jeremy's not going to be able to go on at 3. No, just kidding, Jeremy. I'll be done. All right, so let me minimize this. I want to show you guys something. Now I have to get into, oops, I'm going to have to put this on for a second. Give me 1 second. I thought this was really cool. I got to get my phone up onto the screen. There we go. And let me just get signed in. No? Did I type something wrong? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me do this. Okay, and this. All right, so with Proxmox version 9, you can access your Proxmox interface from your mobile device. It wasn't available in Proxmox 8, from what I understand. It's a new feature in Proxmox version 9. And it's not an app. I'm just accessing it through a browser. It will dynamically resize according to whatever mobile browser you're using, which is really, really cool. So on the home page, and I haven't played around a lot with it, but just knowing I have this at my fingertips is really, really cool. And it actually came in handy. One time I was away and out of the house, and I was just able to wire guard in and from where I was, and then control my cluster from this mobile device, which turned out to be really, really cool. So it sees here that I have the 2 nodes online, and it's giving me the overall. So what you're seeing here at the top, the CPU usage, the memory, and the storage is overall across the cluster. And then it breaks it down by the individual nodes. And you can see this, it tells you the statuses that they're online. And then you can see down at the bottom the number of virtual machines and how many are online in parentheses, the L.L.C containers, and the storage. So if you go into, let's say, PVE, I'll go into PVE2. Now it gives you the breakdown for just that node. Tells you it's 14 cores, 1 socket, how much memory of the 32, in this case 32 gig, is being used. And then from here at the bottom, you have the options of rebooting, shutting down, and actually even going into the console, which I thought was neat. So yeah, just nifty, a nifty feature to be able to access it from the mobile device. If you click on services, you can see all the services that are running on the node. Handy just to have around. Even shows you the updates, so 5.1.5 on the core widgets. Can you be updated to 5.1.8? I don't think that it allows you to run the updates from here, but it tells you what's available, which I thought was pretty neat. And then if we go back, we can just go right into the resources tab and then see all of the actual virtual machines, and the ones that are running are in blue, and it obviously says running over on the right side. So again, I don't know if you guys knew about this, but I thought it was a pretty cool addition in version 9. So anyway, I definitely wanted to show that. If you knew about it, let me know though in the let me know about it in the comments. So all right, let's go here. Joe says it is 100% cheaper on BH. Interesting. You know I'm going to look. No shit. Look at that. It really is. It's about $80 cheaper. Well, I'm not going to act on impulse. So, but that's good to know. Thank you for that. Alonzo says, nice. I have the same UPS. I think you're referring to the APC, not the EcoFlow, correct? The browser I was using right then at that moment was Chrome, but I typically use DuckDuckGo. I don't know why I went into Chrome that time, but I typically use DuckDuckGo on the iPhone, and I use Brave on my laptops and on my computers. Serenity Now. Yes, that was the name of a boat I used to own, by the way. No shit. It was Serenity Now. All right. Speaking of Proxmox, I did do one thing this week, and I added another virtual machine. So I had been using, believe it or not, Quicken for my not QuickBooks, but Quicken, the accounting, not the accounting program, the checkbook register program. I had been using Quicken and paying bills online since the early 1990s, and I used Quicken at that time to do my online bill pay. Now I do it all through my banks, but I still use Quicken up until this week to manage my checkbook register. Like I don't like handwriting in the checkbooks on the actual, little flap of that they give you to record your checks and stuff like that. I like to do that on the computer because it helps me at the end of the year. Go in and tally all, how much did I spend in electric, how much did I spend in water, how much did I spend in internet. Quickly, I could pull that information up, especially for, using the home office as a write-off. It really helps. So I wanted to stay with something, but Quicken was, when I retired the 2014 laptop, I managed to rig Quicken to work on that. But once I retired it and started using the M2 laptop that I have here, the newer laptop, or the M3, I think it's an M3, it wasn't an option. So I needed something. Basically, bottom line is I needed something that could just be a very simple digital checkbook register. And I thought, okay, there's got to be something out there that I could run as a virtual machine in Proxmox that would give me access from no matter what computer I'm sitting at with the browser. And I came across a few. I found something called Actual Budget. I could not get it to work at first, so I aborted it and I kept looking. And I finally asked Jeremy. I reached out to him and I said, hey, are you familiar with any? Figured he might have been using one that he could recommend, and he came back with a few. One of them was Actual Budget. So I said, I liked it when I saw the demo of it. Jeremy's recommending it. Let me try it again. So I tried it again, and I got it to work. Now, I'm going to show you the interface. So it's here. The nice thing, one of the things I liked about it is I can show it to you without you seeing all the dollar amounts just by the little eyeball icon here. If I toggle that, then it'll show all the dollar amounts and everything. But this is serving the purpose exactly what I needed. Just to keep, I don't do, like, the budgeting and everything is not set up on it. The budgeting, it says it's in the red, right? But that's because I didn't set up all the budget lines, and I just want something that's going to keep track of all my transactions. These are all right here are all scheduled. The top ones with the refresh, those are all scheduled transactions right there that are going to happen like every month. I was able to export all of my Quicken transactions from the older Quicken program to a CSV file and then map the fields and import them here using the import feature. The only thing, the first time I tried it, it failed because I learned that I had to set up the categories I had to set up the categories that I wanted to and that I intended to import from Quicken into Actual Budget. I had to set up the categories first so that I could map the field, which after I thought about it makes total sense. So the only field that really didn't map was you could see the check numbers are under the notes field, but I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. So this is doing everything that I wanted it to do. And the reason why it didn't work the first time around, I actually installed it properly, but when I went back to it the second time, it was the same issue that Jeremy was having with Bento PDF. It required a trusted connection. It wouldn't run over HTTP. So having thought about that, I was like, and having installed it a couple of times and getting the same result, I'm like, why isn't this page loading? And then like an epiphany, a light bulb went on. I said, let me see if it has anything to do. So I added the entry to AdGuard Home and Nginx Proxy Manager so that it would use the wildcard certificate that I got from Let's Encrypt, and boom, it loaded right up. So it's funny too, because like in a week's time, we've discovered now 2 services that won't run on just internally over HTTP, which is interesting. So anyway, that's about all I did with Proxmox. Nothing new. I know a bunch of you guys were playing with I forget what it was, Pegaprox or something like that, Pergaprox, Pegaprox. I'm not even sure. It's not something I have a desire to play with, although I am following the threads, and I know Terry likes it a lot, Terrell. So something I may explore down the road, but honestly, I kind of feel like the interface, being able to access the entire cluster from either node's interface is fine enough for me. Putting another overlay on top of it, to me, for me, being limited skills with this stuff is just another thing that can break, that I can get myself into trouble with and not get myself out of. So I'm happy with the interface the way it is. It gives me access to both nodes, and that's really all I need for what I'm doing. DuckDuckGo has an iOS browser. It is... Let me just get the comment off the screen. It's right there, DuckDuckGo, and if I open it, there it is. So what I like about it is, I'll go to a page where it's a little bit easier for you to see. Well, not really, but what I like about it is on the bottom, when you're all done, you just hit the little flame and it just deletes the cache and everything starts from scratch. So yep, it does. All right. All right, so the 30,000 subscriber giveaway, let's do that. Let me bring up, we have 17 people here, so it's a good time to do it. We only had 19 people register, so those of you who did register, you have a pretty good shot at winning the Switch. 1 in 17, I think, is pretty good. I want to go to my channel real quick and just go over the rules one last time, because honestly, I want everybody on the same page. I assume that people read the rules, but like, you know, I don't want an international winner to be upset with me that they're not getting the Switch. It says in the rules that they're getting the a $50 payout on PayPal. So if you didn't read the rules, that's on you. But let's take a look together real quick, and then we'll do the actual drawing live. So here was the post on my page, and here's the form, which you can't register as of 5 o'clock last night. I pulled the form down, but like right here, it basically says, however, due to international shipping regulations, the prize package will only be shipped within the United States. International giveaway winner will receive a flat rate payout of $50 via PayPal. So there you go. It says it right there. It's been stated since the day I launched. So if you didn't read this and you just clicked on the link to register thinking that I was going to ship you a Switch overseas, that's on you, not on me. So let me get into Gleam.io, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I am coming into an area called Quick Draw. I'll show you this in a second. Okay. Okay, so I'm inside Gleam.io. We're going to create a quick draw. And I think with this account, the only one I can use is the random name picker. So I'm going to say random name picker and instantly pick a random name from a list. Just paste the names or upload a list. So we collected the names from the form that backfed a spreadsheet. So I'm going to upload the CSV file that contains just the names. Let's see, can I do it that way? Nope. Okay, so we're going to go search for it. It's on my desktop. 30,000 giveaway. It's this one here. Okay, so we have the 19 entries. We're picking one winner. And when I say draw winners, it's just going to start spinning the wheel. So good luck, everybody. I hope you, whoever wants to win it or needs it or whatever, I wish you all good luck. Here we go. 50%. And the winner is, looks like Jeremy won the 24-port unmanaged GrandStream Switch. There it is right there. And I'm just going to confirm that on the other screen. I believe that's the only Jeremy. Let me get out of here. Yep, that's the only Jeremy. Congratulations, Jeremy. I will package that up, Jeremy, and get it out to you in Monday's mail. So congratulations. Add to your GrandStream arsenal. Cool. And thank you for all of you who ended up registering. We had a nice mix. We actually had 1, 2, I don't want to show you the full spreadsheet because I don't want to disclose people's information and where they're from, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 entries from the United States. We had an entry from India, 2 entries from Canada, an entry from Poland, an entry from Mexico, an entry from South Africa, and an entry from Greece. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, congratulations, Jeremy. I have your address and stuff already. So I was going to say I will contact the winner via email to get your shipping information, but I already have that. So we're good to go. All right, back to the comments. I saw something Joe said earlier. I didn't want to skip it. There it is. He did a fun little project that he built. He built his own Wikipedia server. Interesting. You can download all of Wikipedia and serve it internally. That's interesting. And is there a mechanism that updates it as it changes and pulls that down? You're doing that with an API? Interesting. Cool. Okay, so what browser? DuckDuckGo, Serenity Now. Yeah, I've been using Quicken for a long time, Jay. And I refuse to pay for it now, especially now knowing I could just set something up and run it myself internally to do what I needed to do, right? I'm not paying bills with it. I'm not linking it to my online bank accounts. I just simply needed a digital check register that will have my categories, be able to schedule transactions, be able to pull up reports. So actual budget is perfect for that. So thank you, Jeremy, for suggesting it as well. I mean, I had already found it and I liked it, but I couldn't get it to work and I was frustrated and I was looking for other options. So when you said that was one of them to check out, I was like, wow, it's the one I wanted to try, which I tried, which I wanted to use and I tried. So let me go back to the drawing board, and it ended up being the secure connection, which was why the web page wasn't loading. Tim says, I've been using Microsoft Money since the 90s, no longer available, but still works on Win 11. Interesting. TVJ says, I set up actual budget using Proxmox helper script and I was going to try it because my Quicken is about to renew. Yeah. And I think right now, the only Quicken you can get now is in the cloud, right? I don't think they have the desktop local version anymore, which I was running the local version, which I liked. Yeah. Yep. Well, I just did my taxes, so I ended up just paying them, right? So they're one of my transactions. Hey, this is the most trivial thing in the world, but there is one small slice of green to the left of the live bug. I'm more curious why the chroma key isn't grabbing it. Let me just check the actual graphic itself. Where is that? Media rundown. That's under rundown. Add. This, I can't show you this for whatever reason. I don't have this. So under build, let me just take a quick look. I don't know what I just added. Let's see. What did I just add? I just added something called Neon Cyberjunk. What the heck is that? Let me get the comment off the screen. Oh, that's another one of his built-in graphics. So you can take one of his builds and modify it, or you can build your own. I just took his, I didn't mean to add that. I just took his bug and I just modified it a little bit. His original bug, let me get rid of this. Let me add his original bug and show you. So build. Where was the original live bug? Oh, here it is. All right, so his original live bug was, let me close mine. I just took away from his. This was the one that he has built in. And I can't really even see what that little one says. Next to it. Oh, 1,247 viewers. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, so I could, what do I have here now? I have 17 viewers. That makes more sense. So I could change that and edit it on the fly. So, and I'm not seeing, you're right, I'm not seeing the little strip of green on the side of the red in his pre-built one. But the one I edited, I'm seeing it. So it's something I probably did when I edited it. I'll have to fix that this week. Thanks for pointing that out, Joe. Okay, where am I? Where are we? Forgot to enter the drawing. I'm sorry, TVJ. I put out a couple of reminders. I put out a short on, I did. I put out reels on Wednesday. I put another reminder out yesterday. All right, let's go. Congratulations, Jeremy. Woohoo! Congratulations, Jeremy. Like I said, I will get it out to you. Very cool. Congratulations. It's not rigged. Kilobyte 808 is saying nice. I've done a video on that years ago. Do a new video. It doesn't auto update. Joe's saying going back to it, have to re-download the archive again. It's about 100 gig. Okay. Wouldn't that be cool if we can get it, if you can get it to auto update? Yeah, it's really, I really like it. It was a stupid certificate. Just has to run over HTTPS. So, and I did not know that, being I don't use Windows on a regular basis. Good to know. $3 a month. Oh, his had the green line too? I didn't see it. I thought I definitely was more prevalent in mine. Could be. I hadn't even noticed that before Beetlejuice mentioned it. Oh boy. Yes, there's many strands of hair that are out of place on my head. Okay. Weekly poll. Let's go through those, and then I got 2 articles I want to share. And Jeremy, I am nowhere near running into your 3 p.m. stream, so we are good to go. Let me get here. Okay. Oh, let me check. Speaking of polls, 17 votes, 53% said traditional rack mount UPS would be their choice. 47% said the EcoFlow power station. So, hey, you know, it's not really tilted too heavily in one direction. It's almost 50-50. So pretty cool. I'm excited to get it here on Wednesday and get it set up, and then next week I'll take you back in the back there with the camera and show it to you. So we'll end that poll. I rack mounted, real quick before we get to the polls, I threw the 48 port switch into the rack here to my left. I have a 16 port PoE switch in there now. I don't need the 48 ports for sure, especially at this rack, but the thought I had, and it's only in there right now because it was sitting on my desk and I wanted it out of the way. The thought I had with it was I could, so the 78, the 16 port one that I have here, it's a 7802P. It only has SFP ports, so the uplink is only 1 gig. I got 6 SFP plus ports on the 48 port switch, so I could uplink it to the rack to a 10 gig port on the 7816 plus, and then I can have 5 other ports here that have 10 gig. So my laptop right now is punched into the wall not my laptop, my computer is uplinked to the wall to the switch in the closet at 10 gig. I could just patch it here then and not run a wire across the floor. I could get a 10 gig dongle for the laptop and then patch it here. But I don't need 48 1 gig ports. That's the thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with this switch. But for right now, I racked it. And my thought process was, well, at least I can have the backbone be 10 gig. But I don't know. We'll see. Regarding the EcoFlow, for my purposes, the main benefit is the new battery tech. Yes. And what I've been reading and seeing online is do not charge the batteries up to 100%. It's recommended to when you drain them to only, there's a setting inside the EcoFlow app, and I haven't played with it yet with the River. But when you charge them back up, only charge them to 80 to 85% is what's recommended, at least what I'm seeing out there for these new LIFE batteries. So, Joe, I don't know if that's, and Jay, if I know you have the EcoFlow, if that's along the lines, if you guys concur with that or not, I would love to hear. 35,000 giveaway for the 48 port switch. Maybe, who knows? So, in any event, all right, let's go through the polls real quick, and then I just want to go over those two articles, or at least share those two articles with you. Okay, let's see. 1 day ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago. Okay. Thanks, Tim. Tim sent me a photo. Let's see if I can show this to you. I love it. He sent me a photo of the edge of the bug. So, and as I zoom in, I definitely see the green. So, yeah, I'll have to play with that. So, in fact, on the right side, there's like a white outline. So, interesting. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Let's go to the polls. So for last Monday's poll, your current home lab goal is, and then again, remember folks, we are only allowed to put 4 responses up. 129 votes, learn new tech, 22%, improve reliability, 5%, increase security, 4%, and all of the above, 69%. We had a couple of comments on that. Somebody said, ride my motorcycle. Okay. Somebody said, Plex. And there were 2 responses to that. Do jellyfin, a little bit more work, but I like it. So anyway, so that was that poll. Let's go. By the way, I changed the thumbnail on my most recent video because I had a viewer. The comments, are, again, I'm not going to get off on a rant, but my original thumbnail was like a surprised expression, and somebody wrote that my thumbnail looked like viewer repellent, or acts like viewer repellent. So I was like, okay, thank you very much. Don't watch the video for the content. Just criticize the content creators. Anyway, so this morning I changed I blocked the viewer, and then I decided to change the thumbnail. Actually, I can't argue with that viewer, though, because when I first had ChatGPT help me create it, I actually asked them to do, in fact, I'll show it to you before we go back to the polls. So you know I'm not bullshitting you. Hold on. Let me get in there. Oh, and I wasn't showing the polls either, so good thing I got sidetracked. Squirrel. Let me just... Okay. So let me switch to here. All right, so we talked about different things with the thumbnail, whether I want it to be like a caricature or realistic. So I uploaded 2 photos. I uploaded a photo of the actual switch itself. I uploaded my desktop shot, which is my profile pic, and then I uploaded this shot from some vacation Lisa and I were on, which is the caricature, the image that I use for the caricature for the live stream thumbnails. So those 3 images, we talked about the different characteristics of the thumbnail, and the first thumbnail that came back was this right here. And that's the one I ended up going with, but my first reaction was right here. You could see I said, I like it a lot. I think you over exaggerated the facial expression. Can you ease the surprised expression a little? Don't completely eliminate it. Just bring it down a few notches. Otherwise the thumbnail is spot on. And then I got this, and I didn't like this because, like, first of all, I just didn't like it. I wasn't looking straight ahead. I was looking off to the side. I was looking like I was getting ready to kiss a bullfrog. So I was like, nope. So I went with the original thumbnail. And then this morning I decided I would like you to revise the thumbnail. Please show me holding the switch as if I was listening for sound. Keep the words almost silent. I was also almost going to change it to, is this thing running, or is it running? And then I said a couple of viewers said that the facial expressions on these 2 thumbnails act like viewer repellent. That's not good. So they brought back this. So that's what I changed it to. All right. So we got off on that topic now. Let's go back to the actual polls. All right, so 3 days ago. So anyway, I went over this without showing it to you. So there's the 129 votes and the 4 responses. Let's go up to the poll from 2 days ago, from Wednesday, or 3 days ago. 103 votes. In your opinion, the best way to learn new tech skills is YouTube, 23%, 70% hands-on. Yep, that's where I fall. But I try to stay current with publications too. 5% courses and certifications. Stay current with research and publications. 7 comments. All of the above, plus quite a few years of working in the industry. Can't argue that. Mine is hands-on with YouTube guides. Yep. Hands-on experimentation. Jeremy says, Alonzo says, I'm currently using all those options. Yep. The third spoke out of 3 in learning hands-on. I love YouTube. That said, I truly don't understand people that will watch an hour of YouTube to learn what 1 minute of reading the docs will tell you. And I just kind of simply responded to that one, said some folks are just better at visual learning. So anyway, there's that. And then there's yesterday's poll, which we only got 31. That's probably been the lowest amount of votes on a poll I've gotten in a long time, 31 votes. What do you trust least with your data? ISPs, 10%, social platforms, 74%, cloud providers, 13%, IoT devices, 3%, and I don't see, local admin says I don't see a zero trust option. Again, we can only put 4 options. I didn't think of that. My choice of cloud providers, David says, my choice of cloud providers is based on knowing I have no social media financial associations and that I have no control over whether or not financial institutions I am forced to deal with are highly leveraged with cloud services. So there are the weekly polls, and I think I got to get my butt into gear because I think I'm done. I don't think there's another poll scheduled for Monday, so I got to get working for March. But Well, while we're here, actually, let's go back to the comments. Okay. Joe says, yes, in fact, most modern batteries are like that. If your iPhone battery will last, your iPhone battery will last much longer if you set the charge limit in settings to 80% and don't go below 20. Okay. Good to know. I didn't know that. I didn't know in the iPhone you could actually set the thresholds. Cool. Thank you for that. I went into a rabbit hole a while back on this topic. Terrell says the battery management system should say 100%, but will be between 80 and 90. Yes, Tim sent me the picture, but I can see it better than I can see on my own screen. I do see it on the multi-view, but not like when I zoomed in. Yeah, I love my viewers. No, I really do, but every once in a while you get one. No, it's not a. Tony Davis was my professional name when I was performing back in the day. Everybody in the band had some type of variation of their real name so that when we introduced ourselves to the audience and the crowd, we didn't have to disclose who we were. And I'm talking about going back in the 80s. So, yeah, I was Tony Davis on percussion. That's how I was introduced. I figured you'd get a kick out of that. Yep, yep. I figured you'd get a kick out of that too. So, anyway, okay. We are going for an hour and 25, but it's only 1:25. Let me finish up these two things. We still have 16 people here, 14 likes. Thank you, folks. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Are you getting bored with these streams every Saturday? Do you guys need a break? I mean, I'm fine. I just, want to know that you're enjoying them, and 'cause I don't know. I mean, maybe you don't find maybe you don't find the streams entertaining. I don't know. You guys seem to like them. I seem to get a good crowd every week, but now if you need a break, let me know. We can take a break. So, all right. I try to keep it interesting. I don't necessarily have the most riveting topics all the time, but I try to just keep it real and what's going on in my life and what happened throughout the week. So I found this week on Fresh RSS. I'm sure, Jeremy, you probably saw this one. I'll share the link in a second. Let's just go through it. Let's go full desktop. From darkreading.com. When connected and compromised, when IoT devices turn into threats, reused passwords, a lack of network segmentation, and poor sanitation process makes the Internet of Things attack surfaces more dangerous. This was from February 19th, 2026. Number of Internet Things devices operating in homes and offices continues to balloon, but security awareness is lacking despite the considerable risks. Then it goes on to talk about the insecure default settings that the devices are shipped with. I'm not going to read this word for word. Like I said, I'll give you the link. People simply listening to a song through Amazon or watching a TV show through Apple TV are unaware of the risks. Those risks magnify in an enterprise environment, and threat actors notice. Let's see. What else did they say here that I thought was interesting? Epiphany's research focuses on the most commonly used devices such as Amazon devices like Echo Dot, Echo Vision, Alexa, as well as Apple TV, Apple Watch, and Google Home. He also examines smart refrigerators, Roombas, network cameras, and smart light bulbs. Not very secure. Talks in this article section here, talks about them listening. So yeah, I mean, focusing on smart refrigerators here. Another area of IoT that's overlooked. They're equipped with web browsers. They store passwords. They can install applications and control them with their cell phones. So anyway, I thought it was a good article. So I am going to drop the link in the chat now for you guys. Oh, there's one more thing I just realized I wanted to test out with you guys while I had you live. So there's that article. And let me get to the other one real quick. This one has kind of been in the news all week. I know some of you have been talking about it. New California law will require operating systems to have age verification. Honestly, I'd like to see them enforce this. Good luck with that. Let me put the article in the chat. Again, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. It just says a highly new restrictive law coming out of California that will be going into effect in 2027 could force age verification into any device with an operating system in the state. Right now in California, the recently passed Assembly Bill number 1043 goes into effect next January and demands age verification be added to the startup process of any device, which would include Microsoft Linux, Mac, iOS, Android, and arguably even things like Steam OS. So there's this whole article, and I mean, it gets really into it. I'll leave that, like I said, for you guys to actually review. But I really like to just see them enforce this. I mean, it's no different, in my opinion, than a kid signing up for a Google account or a YouTube account. Oh, yeah, are you 13? Oh, yeah, I was born, let me date it back a couple of years. I mean, come on. But that'd be interesting. I see a slew of Joe comments coming in here. Let's see what's going on. Where did I leave off? Okay, right here. Not bored with the streams. Yes, you're bored with the streams? Or yes, keep going with the streams. If people need a break, they can choose not to tune in. True. I love the live streams, love the interaction. No break, thank you. Now that Jeremy doesn't stream much anymore, you are helping filling the void. Here's the article for the IoT devices. This is what David was talking about when the big one comes. And then there's the other article on the California OS age restrictions. I was going to get my CISSP, but after hearing David, I decided to stay away. Of course, it's California. Terrell said, did you see my Signal comments about this morning? Hold on, let me look. Actually, here we go. Terrell says, well, the first dominoes have fallen in the California OS age verification law that starts January 1st, 2027. Midnight BSD and DB48 have posted as of January 1, 2027. They will no longer be available to California residents. And then he went on to say, I bet everyone but Microsoft and Apple will follow suit. Interesting. Wow. No, I didn't see that until just now. Thank you. Yep. Total infringement of privacy. Yep. My coffee is kicking in. I believe the Origin bill requires ID too. Oh, well, that would be, I guess, one way to... But still, I think it's going to be hard to enforce. Keep the streams. There will be weeks I can't attend because of Saturday work schedule. Fair enough. Let's see. 1:30. I was playing around this week, and then this will be the last topic, promise. I was playing around this week with Talk Studio because we are getting closer to April. We're not starting the weekly sports show again until football season comes back at the end of August, which would be college starting, and then a week later, usually the NFL starts. But we are going to do one show as a test run in April on April 22nd at 8 p.m. The NFL draft is on April 23rd. So we thought we would do a draft show the night before to test out things and get back into the swing of things. And so I figured I better get my butt into gear and start playing with Talk Studio. So I didn't download it yesterday. I keep saying I downloaded it. I created the free account and I started playing with it. So what I want to do now is, because I was a little, well, my first impression with it was, oh my God, this is horrible. The audio's all garbled. But then I realized there was a noise cancellation feature in the Talk Studio back end that by default was on. So when I turned that off, then the audio leveled out and I was like, okay. But then I noticed the audio was quite a bit out of sync. And I do have my audio set going. My mic goes through the ATEM at 5 frames delayed. So I was playing with that setting, but then it seemed to have worked it out even at the 5 settings. So I don't know if that was just a one-time glitch where the audio lip sync was off. So what I want to do is I'm going to go into Streamlabs Talk Studio now. And I'm going to start a stream, and an unlisted stream of this stream, and just put the link to my other channel. It's just my personal channel. There are no videos on there. But I'll stream to that channel and send you guys the link to go take a look. And number one, it's going to be in 720 because it's only the free version. I'm on the 7-day free trial. If we do go with Talk Studio, we will buy the 1080p plan. But for right now, for the testing, I'm testing in 720 for the free plan. But I kind of, so that, take that into consideration when you're watching it. But also, I want to know if the audio is definitely out of, how badly out of sync it is, or if it is at all. I don't know. So, and then just give me that, and then we'll wrap it up after that if we have a discussion on that. So, here I am. Let me make sure it's not muted. I could take you into the back end. You could definitely see the back end of this. I have no issue. Oh no, it's, never mind. I didn't realize it was going to be infinity. Okay, so noise cancellation is off. All right, so let me go live, make it unlisted, and say next. Give it a description, test. Okay. Stream starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once it starts, let me get you the link to that chat, to that all right, switch account, go to my personal account. Let me grab the link to that test stream. Okay. It says it's live, but I don't see anything. Hold on, let me see. It says it's, oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Let me put the link in here. Okay, so there's the link to the stream live going through Talk Studio. So anyway, check it out. Let me know. I know the image isn't going to be quite as crisp, but I just want to make sure that the audio is on track. So, and I didn't do anything with the graphics. In fact, I was looking to see if I could upload background graphics and things like that, but I don't see that being possible on the free version. So, but in any event, yeah, that should be streaming live now. So anyway, go check that out and get back to me on it. So, and other than that, really, I mean, I'll give you guys a few seconds to go check out the other channel. I should be able to pull that up here too. I just don't want to mess things up. That up here too. I just don't want to mess things up. Live. People are saying hello. There we go. It works. Yep, it's still live. Audio seems fine. People are saying hello. So it seems like it's in sync. It works. Grish is there. Mr. Tim Tech audio is there. Seems fine. So it seems like it's in sync. Grish is there. Mr. Tim Tech is there. Okay. That's funny. I'll leave it run a few more minutes. Okay. I'll leave it run a few more minutes. So, it works. Obviously has Streamlabs logo top right. Yeah, that will go away, Tim. That will go away. It works. Obviously has Streamlabs logo top right. Yeah, that will go away, Tim. That will go away. Once I get on the once I pay for it, where it says powered by Talk Studio, that will go away. Once I get on the paid plan, that will where it says powered by Talk Studio, that will go away. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to end it. I just wanted you guys to go take a look. So the audio seems to be in sync. All right, I'm going to end it. I just wanted you guys to go take a look. Is the picture so the audio much seems darker? To be in sync. So good to know because it is taking it in via. Is the picture much darker? Because it is taking it in via darker than the output stream than this actual live stream. Is it darker than this stream than this actual live stream? Oops. Is that better? I muted the audio. Quality is garbage. Okay. Joe, clarify that comment a little bit. Let me see. Tim says it works. Double audio. Yep. Double sudo. You got Linux on your mind, David. You're duplicating audio close. Yeah, the other stream. Yep. Clarify this for me. Quality is garbage. It's encoding, not 720. I am talking about. Say that. Try to say that clearer for me. Seriously, the encoding is really bad. Well, hopefully it'll be better with the paid version. So, I mean, when I watch Jeremy, I think it's fine. Jeremy's on the paid plan. This is the trial plan. So I wasn't expecting much, but I wanted to at least have something where I can go into the back end and start familiarizing myself with it. Let me end it. Okay, I'll just watch that back later after the stream. It removes frame. It even removes frames. Interesting. David says any web RTC base will always be worse. Interesting. Yes, I understand that. My question is though, and Joe's saying correct. So I priced out. I just don't want to go back to Zoom ISO. Not that it wasn't good, but it was 720 when we were doing it. Because my Zoom plan, I was only paying for 720 on my Zoom Pro plan. But Zoom ISO, so there's the Zoom account. Now, Jay, if you're still here, I don't know if you saw Aaron's stream from last Sunday when he had Tom Buck on, but he was bringing Tom Buck in via Zoom ISO, the way I used to bring my guests into the sports show here. And I still have the enclosure with the DeckLink Duo card in it. So, I mean, I could go back to producing the show the way I used to do it with Zoom and Zoom ISO, but it's expensive, and I don't know that neither myself nor Les want to. We're okay with paying $17 a month, and paying it annually for the year, whatever that comes to. But I don't know that we want to pay for the Zoom account and $50 a month for Zoom ISO. Now, Aaron was saying, I caught a little bit of Aaron's stream because I do watch Tom Buck. I don't usually watch Aaron all the time, but I do kind of watch Tom on a regular basis because he was a former school teacher. So I don't know. I just kind of reached out to him years ago and we chatted back then. So I do like his content. And during Aaron's stream, when he was explaining how he brought Tom in using Zoom ISO, he said something about Zoom ISO now being a plugin in Zoom rather than licensing it the way it used to be. Like, because I licensed Zoom ISO through liminal.net, which were the original creators of Zoom ISO, I imagine. Their website's still active, and it seems like I could still go back there and buy a license. But I was looking all through Zoom, and I couldn't find where, when you picked the Zoom Pro account and you clicked on add-ons, I could not find where you added on Zoom ISO within Zoom. So I'm a little confused with that whole thing. So I thought if it was $159, let's say, for the Zoom account and maybe an additional whatever one-time fee, but I don't want to pay $50 a month for Zoom ISO. Not this time around. So that's where I'm at with that. So, yep, it is a webcam feed. I hate what StreamYard is doing, but the quality is so much better. And StreamYard is expensive. StreamYard, I checked that out because when I first had the audio issues with Talk Studio yesterday, I was like, oh, no. But StreamYard is, let me bring it up. StreamYard pricing is pretty steep. So right here, the $35.99 a month for 1080p. No StreamYard logo. So it goes from free right to $35 a month. And that's if you pay it annually. Otherwise, it's $44.99 a month. Well, if I'm going to pay $44.99 a month for StreamYard, I'm going to buy Zoom ISO and get better quality, right? At least, well, maybe not because it is 1080p. I'm still at 720 even with Zoom ISO. But multiple stream, 3 destinations. I mean, it's expensive. It's crazy. Now, Talk Studio. Let me get out of here. Come on. Pricing, plans. Okay. So you got the $12 a month plan, no watermark, 1080p resolution, up to 11 guests, which we're only going to have 3 people, so and all this other stuff. But I figured for this price, for $145 a year, we're willing to do that, I don't want to pay, neither one of us want to pay $35 or $44 a month. Let's see. Where are we in the chat? StreamYard and the likes always have an inherent problem. This is Grish. It's WebRTC based, and that has limitations since it's made for real-time communication, not quality. StreamYard, Joe says, is still never going to be as good as RTMP. Correct, Grish. That said, it's less. Who cares? Grish, have you tried out Video Ninja? It's a lot more difficult to use, but can sort of do what Zoom ISO does. I have not. I will have to look into that this week. Give me a project. Joe says, yeah, but Zoom ISO still requires your studio. The virtual ones like Talk Studio and StreamYard you can produce from anywhere, correct? Well, that's what I was thinking. Just make it simple. You know what I mean? Especially since he's not coming here this time around. He's just going to set up in his upstairs with, I sent him a link. I kind of decided I wanted him to get the tiny, the Osbot Tiny 3 Lite. I think that's, again, for what we're going to do and what he's doing, he doesn't need to go with the Tiny 3 or the Insta360 Link 2. The Tiny 3 Lite will be fine. And a headset. He's going to be set up in his home. All three of them are going to be coming into Talk Studio remotely. And like what I like about it is, if I wasn't available to produce the back end of the show, they can still go live and just keep it, on the 3UP and do their show for the week. Like, you know what I mean? They don't need me. They don't need to be reliant upon me. And that's what I like about going with the virtual web-based solutions. So anyway, so there you have it. I don't think I missed anything. So congratulations again, Jeremy. I will get that out to you this week. 14 people here, 15 likes. So thank you guys very much for all being here. I hope everyone has a great week. We have some nice 70-degree days coming up this week. I'm hoping to get out on a motorcycle at least once, maybe twice. Who knows? Got some doctor checkups, appointments this week, so hopefully all will go well with that. And that's about it. So I guess we'll keep the microphone here for now. I will take another look at B&H's site, but yeah. So anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Have a great week, and check out this week's video. I haven't really quite decided what it's going to be just yet, but it'll be something. We'll keep the streams going, and that's it for now. So thanks again. Good luck, Jeremy. Congratulations, Jeremy, and blah, 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 blah. It's time to quit while I'm babbling. Take care. Bye.